This is the complete system that I use to build my online sports coaching business up to over $100,000 a year. I'm gonna walk you through each step here and make sure that you understand how everything works together. Because if you're missing a few of these pieces and you try to build online, it's gonna be really, really difficult. Watch this video so you can learn how the whole machine works and you can implement it yourself. Everything starts on social. Short form video is king. And I would say the two best places to be are Instagram and YouTube. Now, I also think TikTok is valuable. TikTok for me was a huge accelerator at the beginning, but truthfully, 90% of my business comes from Instagram and YouTube. So that's where I would start without a doubt. Another key piece to this whole puzzle is also going to be long form content, which would be horizontal video, and this would exist on YouTube. Now, it might also exist on a landing page, right, which would be your website. I think that's another good place for this all to go. But the very first thing that you gotta have is you have to have an audience. From here, the next step in my sales and marketing process is I have what's called a lead magnet. So I use this content to drive to my lead magnet. I started with the blocking checklist and then I went into a bunch of different other ones, but here are the two that I'm now using the most. The first is the 7-Day Stance Challenge, and that's a short educational email course through video that teaches them in 5 minutes a day a short teaching on a stance and a mobility drill that they can do to get better at catching. The reason that I chose the 7-Day Stance Challenge is because that is the first problem that every catcher needs to solve, and it is honestly the easiest problem to solve. And this is a complete solution to a small but initial and important problem. This is a tremendous resource for the people that opt in to my email system, and then it initiates the coaching because now I'm giving them video and they are ideally practicing at home, which then prepares them for working with me in the coaching program. So it's a great resource. It's a complete solution to an initial and important problem, and it's preparing them to work with me in the coaching program based off the format that it's set up in. The second resource is this free resource. And basically what I did here was I just included all of the additional other lead magnets that I'd created, like the blocking checklist, like the drop your pop training, like the 7-Day Stance Challenge, all the different free resources that I had created. Rather than having a bunch of different ones, I just bundled them all together and put it on catchingmadesimple.com/free, and now they can just go get all of them at once. It made it simpler for me, and I'm sure that they appreciate it as well. So we start with content on social, then we go into our lead magnet, and then that takes us into our email sequences, maybe our SMS or text sequences. There's a bunch of different ways to do this. I like to have, again, some sort of educational email course that is selling them on the process that you will use in your coaching. And then I like to go through a 20 email sequence that I got from Nicholas Cole and Dickie Bush, some of the best people when it comes to building an online business. I'd highly recommend that you check them out. And then I go into YouTube series, where I take long form series that are set up sequentially on YouTube, and I put those into an email sequence and drive them to YouTube because I want them watching this long form YouTube. Because side note, there's a 7-11-4 rule. You might have heard me or other people talk about this. This is really important. This is a study from Google that said in order to take someone from a stranger to a customer, what it takes on average is 7 hours worth of content, 11 different touch points in 4 different channels of them having an interaction from you, them learning from you in order to get them to buy. So you can see if we're on IG Reels, YouTube Shorts, YouTube long form, and email, that's 4 channels right there. The next piece after this is low ticket or coaching. And here's a side note. I actually think low ticket products are going to be making a big comeback after everyone has tried to do a subscription membership to a school community or to these different communities where they get access to all the courses at once. I actually think that people are going to break out specific sections and say, I will give you the specific solution to this specific problem if you pay me this specific price. I think we're going to see more low ticket courses being sold rather than communities in the future, because I think it's more effective and I think both parties like it more. So we'll see if that's true or not, but that's kind of an inclination that I have. This is where you would have a product or a course. I like to draw like a box. I think it definitely seems much more official, even if that's kind of silly to have like a digital box for a course than just like a thumbnail image, even though it's basically the same thing, but it just seems much more official that way. With these low ticket products, what I like to do is I like to have like a really low ticket, like a $4.99 or like a $7 front end offer. And then, you know, I would have a $27, a $47, a $97, $297 offer where it's like all of them. And so how I would think about this with courses, which this is really what this is. Courses, you want to solve a really specific problem in a certain amount of time frame. For example, my Blocking Made Simple course is titled Blocking Made Simple, Turn Past Balls into Brick Walls in 60 minutes. And so what I'm saying is in 60 minutes, I will solve the problem of you not knowing what to look for and how to block. Now, are you going to block perfectly after it? Maybe. I mean, you might if you implement some of the stuff, but I'm going to teach you everything that I know. It's going to shortcut a ton of time, and that is totally worth it, because if you were to do a lesson with someone, you wouldn't even get the amount of information and detail that I'm packaging up into this, because you can't edit. There's dialogue back and forth, so there's not actually all the information all completely organized the best way possible with editing. So we're removing the fluff and we are enhancing the visual learning experience. So it's an incredible value for the people that are buying it. But the way that I would think about courses and low ticket is this is the information. This is how you think. This is what you look for. You should have some drills and stuff in there as well, but we want to make sure that this is teaching them the system. That's what we want. We're giving them the whole system. You can go through it and you can download that into your brain. When it comes to the coaching, these three letters are really important. JIT. That stands for just in time. With just in time learning, you're giving them a little bit of information. They take the step and then you give them feedback. And then you give them a little bit more information. They take the step, you give them a little bit more feedback. What you're not doing is giving them everything all at once. Compared to the course, which is here's the whole system, here's everything that you need to know about this, and here's how I think about it, why we think about it this way. All of that information, we're giving that all to them at once. With coaching and just in time, we're saying, go do this, they do it, we give them feedback, and we repeat that over and over and over. If you like this video, then you're gonna love this video right over here. My name's Ange Bourgeois. Let's win together.